Hey guys, it's Leo, and I'm here today to give my quick impressions on She-Ra and the Princesses of Power Season 3. I'm going to talk about how I felt while watching it, about the things that happened, and how my heart was broken, and how I was really angry at so many things. I just want to share. But before, I just want to put out this very simple disclaimer. Spoilers. I'm obviously going to talk about things that happened in the season itself, so this video is going to be full of spoilers. And not only spoilers, I just want to say that if you haven't watched She-Ra, if you're not watching Netflix She-Ra, you're losing on something big. Like, after season 3, I feel like this show has gotten to a level of greatness. I'm really impressed. Overall, I'm really, really, really impressed with She-Ra. I loved season 3 so much, and I feel like this is one of the biggest cartoons I've seen in the past years, and it's really good. If you haven't watched it, you're losing out onto something great, so go watch it. There are only 3 seasons. Seasons 2 and 3 are very short. Season 3 is really short, and they're both 6 episodes only. Season 1 is a little bit bigger, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, season 3. Come on, it's amazing. And after watching season 3, I kind of understand what they did with season 2. Season 2 was a short season. It was very lighthearted. It was very simple. But they were building up to the great thing they did in season 3. The plot was being constructed. Everything was being lifted up so that it could happen in season 3. And oh boy, it happened. It was crazy. All of the episodes in season 3, they felt way too packed, and it didn't feel like I was watching a 6-episode season because so many things happened, and it felt like every single episode had so many things happening at once. They were constructing characters, they were constructing plot, they were giving us fan service, they were giving us humor, comedy, drama, all at the same time. It was so good watching this because it was so well constructed. So some of the things I want to comment. The first one is the Crimson Waste, which was the scenario of the first episodes, and it worked really well. One, for Adora, because I felt like when Adora met Huntara, we could see a little bit more of her, and the fangirl side of Adora really appeared. It didn't really appear before, and at least for me, it didn't really feel like she had that in her in the first few episodes, because in the first few seasons, because she didn't really feel like that with the other princesses. And then we have Huntara. I don't know if Huntara actually categorizes herself as a princess, but we could actually call her the princess of Crimson Waste, right? And she is the queen of Crimson Waste. Everybody respects her, and people see her as the leader. They don't really respect her. They fear her. That's how things work in Crimson Waste, right? People really see her as the leader because they fear her. And so Adora and the pack quickly got into her good side, and even though she was wary of what was going on and Huntara wasn't really believing in the three of them were able to fight their way through and win Huntara's heart. And a thing that really called my attention was the fact that Glimmer, she really grew in season 2, and we were able to see how strong she became in that season. And in season 3, we were able to see that even clearer, because in combat, Glimmer now shines through and through. She is not that character that does things recklessly anymore. She thinks things through, and she has a clear vision on her mind of what she's doing and how she's doing things and how she's using her powers to accomplish that. And we were able to see that clearly in the first few episodes in the Crimson Waste. And so Crimson Waste was amazing. We had Catra going on Crimson Waste as well. And I feel like Catra is such a hard character to categorize, because I feel like Catra is a real hurt person. She's heartbroken. She can't see anything past the fact that she feels like she's losing everything she has to Adora. And everything that happens to her is connected to Adora somehow. And it feels like she is losing a part of herself because Adora is always stealing something from her. And we were able to see that in this season. And it was so hard to watch Catra because she wasn't, when she tried to do something and she was feeling happy in the Crimson Waste, she was amazing there. Like Hordak sent her there, and honestly, he sent Catra to Crimson Waste to die. But as she was feeling hopeless and she had nothing else to lose, she was able to conquer the Crimson Waste in her own way, and it was so nice. Like, I still root for Catra sometimes, even though she annoys me a lot. I still root for her. I still think that she has the potential to go back and undo so many wrong things she did. But I think that after this season, I don't know anymore, because, like, I'll get there, but seeing her in the Crimson Waste with Scorpia, her having those happy moments with Scorpia and sharing that with her, calling her her friend and everything, it was so good. It was so heartwarming. I was so happy seeing her happy there. But she couldn't let herself be happy because there was something bigger than that, which was Adora. Adora being happy is something that makes Catra so unhappy and so annoyed that she would go as far as throwing her happiness away just to mess with Adora. And that's so hard to see because, they were so good friends back then. That's so heartbreaking. And so, like, there is a very big role that Shadow Weaver played in this season. Shadow Weaver is very important, and I love Shadow Weaver's voice actor. She is the best for me. She does such a great job as Shadow Weaver. And so Shadow Weaver had this mystery around her. She had this, the way she was constructed this season was very interesting because she never lost who she really is and her dark personality. She never lost that at all, even though she had those little moments with Adora. And that moment, I think in the first episode, that Adora entered her circle and she was able to share a little moment with Shadow Weaver, that was so powerful. Come on, that was great. And so when Shadow Weaver left the Horde to meet Adora, Catra felt like she left Catra for Adora. And I understand Catra in that sense. I understand Catra in that sense. But it really makes me very annoyed because Catra doesn't really care about what happens to the world. She just wants to see Adora ruined. That makes me really angered. So when everything happened and Adora was captured, and then we had the Princesses Alliance trying to rescue her, I feel like Glimmer really stood up and showed how strong she can be, how brave she can be, and how powerful she can be. And when they went after Adora in the Horde and everything, it was nice because we had like many closure moments between the Princess Alliance, Adora, and Entrapta. Entrapta was a character that was working with the Horde, with doing so many evil things, but she never really saw the evil that they were doing. She was just there for the science, and she never really cared about that. But then in this season, she was able to see the bad that they were doing, and she tried to stop it, but they couldn't. And there were some very nice moments between her and Hordak, Entrapta and Hordak. It feels like they're trying to get something happening between those two, and it works. And we saw Hordak's past as well in this season. It was very nice. I loved the animation change with the Hordak thing. And I think that I was feeling afraid for Entrapta because she was doing so many evil things without actually noticing them, not actually caring about them. But after this season, I feel like the redemption route for her is still possible. I think that they're going for that in the future of the story. It's still possible. She can still undo the bad things she did, and I think they're going to work on that. But then I think that this season also worked a lot with conceptions, because we had a very bad conception of Mara. Mara being the past first Shira. I don't know if she was the first one or the one before Adora only. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But we had a very misconception about her and about what she did. I at least felt like she did something wrong and something bad. But no, everything she did was to restore, was to keep the world at balance, was to keep the world and its people safe. And so we were able to see that in this season. We were able to see Mara for the first time in this season, and her looks really impressed me because I thought she was just a blonde woman like Shira is, like Adora is. She's not. She's different, and I loved it. And I feel like there are going to be more connections between Mara and Adora, and we're going to learn more about Mara and why she did that and how she used her powers to separate the planet from everything else, from the whole universe thing. Like, she isolated that planet because of the interference that everything was going on, and she was able to shield that in another dimension because of the Horde, the original Horde deck and everything. And so I feel like this season also gave us the thing that seasons do of giving us a strong something happening right at the end of episode 4. And then when episode 5 started, it didn't really pick up. We were in an illusion world. And until we actually understood what was actually going on, it was like last episode, or like the last moments of episode 5, we had a lot of moment in that illusionary world to understand what was actually going on. And then I go back to Catra again, because Catra, she knew that world wasn't real, but she was still there with Adora. She was living that world with Adora. So I feel like there's something inside of her that wants to be with Adora, that wants to stay with her, that wants to share things with Adora. But she doesn't know how to do that after everything she did, and she just embraced her evil side. And so I believe that she even embraced her evil side. It showed, because there's like this fusion between Adora, Catra, and that dark side of hers, like even visually. And we had Madame Raz at the end. Again, a great participation by Madame Raz. I love those mysterious witch characters that are saying things in riddle, but then the character actually understands that after a while. And then, it was nice seeing things in the last 2 episodes in a world of could have been. Everybody was happy, not really, because Bo was a historian. What's the word? I don't know. But he was like, he wasn't who he wanted to be. And then when Adora came there, they really understood what was going on after a while. Glimmer as well, being the shielded princess, that's not who she is. Everything happened for a reason, and Micah being there, being alive, everything was wrong. And the season ended with a very strong participation of Angela. And I feel like Angela's participation was important because so far we've seen her shielding the whole Princess Alliance and everything, but she was finally able to open herself up to Adora and show her that everything she did was because she was afraid of losing more. And so it came a time for her to actually step up and do something important, and that's what she did. But damn, it was hard to watch. That moment was hard to watch. But I really hope Angela is stuck into a parallel reality or something, because, come on. Hard. Really hard. But, the way it ended, I feel like the only downside of this season for me was the fact that the Princess Alliance didn't really participate much. The three princesses didn't really, they appeared a little bit, but they weren't able to show their powers more. Frostammer, Mista, and Perfuma. They could have like showed us more, but they didn't. But anyways, season 3 of She-Ra, like, really good. I think that concerning everything that Netflix has put out concerning animation, this was the best for me. This was my favorite Netflix animation so far. I loved it so much. This season is really strong. Oh, and Catra. I'm gonna go back to Catra again. At the end of the season, she was still aligned with Hordak. She even put on a bad word about Entrapta to Hordak. She lied about Entrapta just to stay on Hordak's good side again, to be able to escape with him. Like, what's going on in Catra's mind? Come on, it's Hordak you're dealing with. He tried to kill you. He didn't want you around. Damn. Wake up, Catra. Oh my god. Rant over. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.